Hello and welcome to Beauty Over 50. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is a channel where we talk about everything from makeup, skincare, hair, fashion, lifestyle for the over 50. If you're like me and absolutely love makeup, then at this point you've probably accumulated a large brush collection. Over the years, I've invested quite a bit of money in my brushes. I try to buy good quality makeup brushes. I take care of them. So now my collection has grown considerably large, and finding storage has become quite a challenge for me. I've tried a variety of different storage methods and they all have their issues, and I'll talk about that later on in the video. But recently I came across a storage solution that is working amazingly for me, and I'm excited about sharing it with you. Over the years, I've tried so many different organization techniques out there. I've used the cups, I've used the brush roll bags, I've used the acrylic organizers, and none of them have really worked for me. Some of these storage techniques I do love for travel, like my brush roll is amazing. I only bring a limited amount of brushes with me when I travel. This just rolls up, it can just be put in my suitcase, throw clothes on top, and it's good to go. In terms of the use of cups and acrylic holders, I've tried that, but it basically takes up pretty much all of the counter space in my bathroom, and I prefer to use that for other things. In addition, I don't really find that it looks that aesthetically pleasing. I mean, the acrylics, when you first buy them, they look great, but then after a while, they get dusty, they get powder inside, and it doesn't look very nice. I prefer to have my brushes extremely accessible, but not necessarily out for show. I think the cups and the acrylic holders are a terrific idea in terms of taking care of your brushes. The drawback is that they do get dusty with those methods, but if you don't pack them too tightly within the cups or the display cases, the brushes don't end up rubbing against each other where the bristles are getting bent around like they do in some of the other storage techniques. So that's the plus for the cups and acrylic holders, but for me, they're a no-go. I need something that I can take off my counter space. And as I'm doing this YouTube where I'm, showing some of the tutorials on how I do my eyeshadow and whatnot, I don't have a dedicated YouTube space. So I'm basically carrying my train case and my brushes all over the place, depending where I shoot the video. So I need something very portable that I can carry all my brushes at once. So I was looking for something very portable and big that can carry all my brushes, and I think I've come up with the perfect solution. So I'm about to show you two things. I'm going to show you the new brush holder that I purchased, but I'm also going to show you that my collection is so extensive that I actually needed to buy two of them. So I have one for my eye brushes, and I have another one that I dedicate more to my face brushes. So here's the storage case. It comes with a zip around 3 sides, and then it opens up like a book. It has a really cute, classy looking tassel there. That's always a plus. So this one here I'm using exclusively for my eye lip brushes. As you can see, it has a lot of space. It can hold a lot of brushes. I think I counted and I have maybe about 45 to 50 brushes in here. It says it holds 30, but if they're smaller, it certainly can hold more than that. It comes with this microfiber flap here, which I think serves a number of different purposes. I mean, you could use it in between applying your eyeshadow as, to clean off the shadow before going on with your next shade. It's also useful if perhaps you wanted to use one side exclusively for cream eyeshadows, and then you wanted to have that separated from the other brushes that maybe you use only for powdered shadows. Personally, I think it's most significant significant benefit is that it separates the brushes when you close it. That way, when you're storing your brushes, they're not all rubbing against each other, causing the bristles to get bent, which is a problem that I've had with storing my brushes too tightly in the past. What makes this really handy is that you can also stand it upright and access your brushes that way. Because I have two of them, standing upright, they don't actually both fit on my counter space because I keep my train case on there as well. I mean, my counter in my bathroom is about 5 feet long. And to keep my train case on there, which is a large train case, and both of these, plus my palettes of eyeshadow and other things that I like to have, opened up on the counter while I'm doing my makeup, takes up quite a bit of space. So what I've been doing is I've been having one of these standing upright while I keep the other one opened up, actually over my sink, leaning against my faucet. And that way I can have everything out on my counter, and it makes applying my makeup so much easier. To form it into the stand, you basically fold the system backwards like that. And then you take these two flaps and press them together. So there it is. You can go ahead and stand that on your counter for display. When it's open, it makes it much easier to access your brushes and pull them in and out, versus when the back is up, you kind of have to pull the brush forward a little bit to get a grip of it and pull it out. So I really like that about it. Let's take a look at the one that I'm dedicating to my larger face brushes. Now I've decided that I'm not going to keep any of my brushes that I use for liquid foundation or cream eyeshadows in my cases. I've done that before and they very quickly get extremely dirty, and then I have to clean the entire case. I know a lot of people wash their foundation brush and any cream eyeshadow brushes after every use. I don't tend to do that. I wish I was a little more dedicated to that, but I don't. So what I've decided is I'm keeping them in a separate container. This is the container. It's just an old container from a makeup skincare device that I once purchased, but it's hard plastic. I can keep it open and let them air dry. This might explain why I have multiple brushes that serve the same purpose. It's not just because I love collecting brushes, it's for practical reasons as well. Okay, for example, liquid foundation brushes. Like I said, I don't wash my brush every day, so, I have favorites that I like using for my liquid foundation, but when they have been used a couple of times and I do need them washed, I just store them until I'm ready to wash all my brushes at once, and I'll go ahead and use another brush. If that's dirty, I'll use another one until they kind of build up, and then I wash them all at once. And so that method works for me. So I'm not keeping any of those liquid product brushes in the case. So here is the one that I'm dedicating to my face brushes. And as you can see, it can hold a lot of brush. I do like that these little pockets are wide enough to hold brushes that have a really large handle. And again, I really like the feature of having this flap here, which I think is an important feature in terms of when you're storing it, that your brushes are not rubbing against one another. Another thing I'm really appreciating about these bags is that they are small enough to fit in my train case. It does take up the entire space at the bottom of the train case, and I can only really fit one because I also have some of my eyeshadow palettes in there. But if I were traveling with my train case, I could combine the eyeshadow and face brushes that are more essential into just one bag and store it at the bottom of my train case. So I'm loving them. They're portable, they're handy, they hold piles of brushes. I feel like my brushes are protected, and I can just throw them on top or in my train case and carry them wherever they need to go. If you're interested, I'll put a link to the product page in the description box below. These came from Amazon. and they were a pretty good deal. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Also, in the comments section below, any ideas that you have about future videos I could do about my brush collection. I would love to explain why I have duplicates, which ones are my favorites, and which ones have withstood the test of time. Until next time, take care. Bye.